Yo, 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 what's up, Bulls Nation, Bulls family? I already know it's the Bully Sports Show. We back with another one. It's your boy Hermes. We got my boy Q in the building. We finna go ahead and discuss this AK press conference. He said some stuff. Do y'all think this shit cap or not? We finna go ahead and get into it, break some of this stuff down. But first, before I get into any of that, let me ask my boy, my co-host Q, how you doing, bro?
Um, Season over for us, bro. So I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. It's basketball being played right now, but it's not the Bulls. So we just watching the Heat getting dubbed right now. That could be us. So I guess not too well.
I mean, I think the situation would have been bad either or, man. Shit. I honestly, I'm glad it's over with. Now it's time to live in reality, bro. I think if we would have went against Boston, that would have gave them some more ammunition to try to run this shit back and possibly try to go to the play-in again. I'm not with that, but let's go ahead and talk about some of this stuff AK was saying in his press conference, man. First off, he started off with an initial statement saying that pretty much the job that he done so far has been underwhelming. A key point in that he said that ownership sees it, ownership demands better. And point three, he said that he just now realizing that this business is result oriented, which was kind of insane to me because it's like the first 3 years, what the fuck did you think? Like,
I'm not even gonna lie to you. What's crazy is before I don't know who asked him that question, but as he was giving his presser, I was like, I don't think this man was ready to be a GM of a big market team.
nah,
That like listening to his presser, saying the things he's saying, and I'm like, because he basically was trying to say like, this would have been a good team if it wasn't for injury, and assuming everybody played as good as they were supposed to play, and we wasn't injured, we'll be better. We'll be in the playoffs. We'll be. He made it seem like we'll be a 7th seed or something. But then when that didn't happen, oh, he started talking about what's injuries. It's not really the team. I got to do a better job. I'm just at the point where I'm like, everybody in Chicago said during the deadline last year, if you don't know what's going on with Lonzo, it's time to make a move. There's been a year and a half of an injury that's been around. That was only supposed to be around for 2 months. So 4 months at the max. So here we are at this point. If fans is already demanding that, you should have already been able to see it yourself. I think he's so used to being in Denver. They still only got 10 national televised games, 15, and they got the 2-time MVP, probably possibly 3-time MVP. So I think he just wasn't used to the crowd. Like I think the noise actually got to him this year.
no, for sure. And I mean, you hear it back by ownership, which something I salute if it's real. Honestly, we don't know if ownership really sat down and said, "Hey, we dissatisfied with these results, making a play in, being a ninth seed," because we seen Garpax kind of tread through that, hamster wheel of mediocrity. So, but kind of like you alluded to, just with his answers, I was kind of surprised. Like your job is based on results. Any job is based on results. Ain't no way in hell you thought you was gonna come to Chicago and think that our history is not going to impact the legacy that you're trying to build, right? Like we're not gonna just sit there and let you do anything, and take anything. I know we sell out crowds. We led the attendance record for home games and things like that, which we're known for. Very supportive city, but at the same time, it's a results oriented business. You got to put a product out there that makes sense, and I think from the Lonzo injury on, we all knew that this roster didn't make sense. Either change the coach or change the players. It's like mixing oil and water at this point.
Or, kind of like we alluded to, I think if you're gonna keep this roster together and you got 20 million sitting on the bench, don't have to go into the luxury tax. Like
Yeah,
if you be committed, basically.
yeah. But as he said that a luxury tag team would take a top four seed in the East, and I don't think we ever been at top four seed in the East only with Lonzo Ball. So basically, what he was saying with Lonzo Ball on the roster in that iteration of the team, he would have been willing to go on a luxury tax because he thought that team was competitive enough. Now, when Lonzo went down, the fact that you never did anything to try to um, bring value in the terms of on court or on the bench, like you never changed anything, and I think that's what everybody's kind of confused about, and I kind of
I
think
mean,
that's what he was trying to say when um hey, I realize it's a results oriented business because we're not just gonna, be satisfied with the play in, which he said he's not. So um yeah, I don't know. To me, it sounded like a lot of fluff. Last year, he came in and said, "Hey, let's wait till after free agency to see what this team gonna look like." And you bring in Javon Carter and Torrey Craig. This offseason, he constantly committed to the word change. Like, we must change. We can't go back with this group.
at least
And
in continuity.
yeah, expect different results. But he didn't say where that change was coming from. But one thing he did do, he did not make any comments on Zach LaVine. So I can guarantee Zach LaVine is up out of here. But
Yeah, it wasn't even really uh questions about keeping Zach LaVine. It was more so about DeMar, Pat Williams, and Kobe. The only person that seemed like that would be here next year is Kobe. That's the only thing I got from that press conference. And it's not even
100%.
guaranteed, but that's the only person that seemed like he was like, oh no, we're excited to see how he grows. Like that's the only person that seemed like he knows or he expects to be here.
Yeah,
I
Kobe and
can't speak for
DeMar.
Pat. Yeah, but
Yeah.
he couldn't even speak to that confident about DeMar because DeMar is not even on the contract anymore.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the only thing I got from that. Like Kobe will be here next year. Other than that, everything else seemed like change. Billy Donovan will probably be here next year. Change.
Yeah. What you think about the $40 million offer that's being rumored for DeMar DeRozan? If we sign him to 40 mil, first off, that's putting us over the cap. You damn sure not re-signing Patrick Williams if you signing DeMar DeRozan for 40 million. That's a tax team. Even if you move like Zach LaVine, like you still over the tax. So I don't know. You think to me that'll put us back in that, that mediocrity wheel because you don't have much flexibility outside of retaining DeMar if you do offer him 40 million. Would you do that or what's your mind on that?
Um, this is rough because he put himself in. We were talking about it, you put yourself in a position. It's a results-driven league. Now you gotta win eventually, right? So if you blow it up, and I think sometimes the way I look at sports kind of bleed over. I look at it like football. Like if we blow it up, is he gonna stick around enough to see the rebuild? Like the one thing I think we got a problem with Chicago sports is we a little impatient. So GM, like for instance, yeah, it was time for Garpax to go, but unfortunately, the one part I was upset with was we kicked Garpax out during the middle of the rebuild. I would like to see a GM get a timetable to finish the rebuild, get a full 4 or 5 years from the moment they announce they have a rebuild. It doesn't seem like Reinsdorf wants to rebuild, nor Arturas. So I don't see how you become a top four seed with the roster and the contracts we got in place, or stay competitive unless you do resign DeMar DeRozan. Because if you
100%.
don't resign them, you pretty much kickstarting your rebuild. And I don't think he's going to be here long enough to see through his rebuild.
Now, like you said, he don't want to play for 25 years, but at the same time, if you resign him, are you good enough to is he good enough? And Kobe White, if you can build a successful team around him to propel them to a top four seed, for me, it's hard seeing that as well too. Like you think bringing back Demar, depending on what you get for Zach LaVine, like to me,
I
Donovan
feel like that's the
Mitchell,
biggest key. That's the biggest key.
yeah, Donovan Mitchell would be the nail that you would need a backcourt of Donovan Mitchell, Kobe White, and DeMar at the wing. That offense would be dynamic. It would be crazy. But at the
Just got
same
off on
time,
defense. That would be
Yeah,
god awful in defense.
I think you run that same thing with Zach LaVine, and then again Donovan Mitchell is uh ball dominant, so is DeMar DeRozan. So I don't know how you gonna build this team out, and I don't know who's knocking your door down for Zach LaVine coming off two back-to-back injuries, haven't played more than 60 games in 3 years, you know. Um I just don't know. I honestly don't know. For me, even though I don't like the rebuild route, but I think we're at a point where like we stuck in a corner. I would love to have DeMar DeRozan back. Like he said, 3 years, it's been great. The development for the young guys. For me, with DeMar DeRozan was always the timeline. It's like pairing him and Kobe White, them two different timelines. And I think he established enough veteran presence to where now you can go try to run with those young guys. You know, I would be trying to target a younger star, somebody who's on Kobe White, I would say timeline, you know, like a Donovan Mitchell. Even if you go get Trey Young, right? A Trey Young, Kobe White backcourt, which again probably will be pathetic defensively. Um, but I don't even know where you go because you cash struck, you don't have assets, and I damn sure don't want to trade any future picks to try to double down on this roster. So best thing going forward maybe to resign DeMar to that 40 million, but again, I don't see that propelling you out of that middle stage, you know.
Now, I will personally say, in my dream case scenario, I would love a Zach LaVine for Donovan Mitchell trade, and then we just do whoever was to sign tomorrow, we can do a sign and trade and just get something in return. Sort
Yeah.
of like how Warriors did with KD, or how we built this roster in the first place. That would probably be my dream scenario because pretty much if we bring DeMar back, I will like the next person to either be a solid scoring option four or a solid defensive option guard if we bring DeMar DeRozan back. Like, I don't want to double down on this roster, but I will want us to, at least if we bring them back, again, not trading picks, but we will have to find a way to double down to building around DeMar DeRozan instead of trying to build around Zach LaVine, or it's just or put a roster that's good enough to survive until Lonzo get back. I think we need to get out of those last two mindsets and probably think like 2015 Raptors, like what we need to do to maximize DeMar DeRozan's last 2 years here.
Yeah, because I mean, he did play his best basketball in the Bulls uniform. I think if you do try to maximize DeMar DeRozan, I think first is playing him at his proper position, which is the two guard,
Mm-hmm.
right? So look at Zach LaVine, see what you can get out there, whether that's a phenomenal big man in the center position or a four. And I think that will kind of neutralize the lineup. Say if you go in with Kobe White, DeMar at the two, and then you re-sign Patrick Williams, I think we all want to see Pat at the three. But now you need a four. And my question to you is, do you want to see another year of Vooch? Because I'm sick of this shit. Like,
Um, tough, tough. Honestly, I'm kind of starting to be like everyone else. I'd rather have a defensive minded center almost at this point. If we can get a defensive minded center that can hit some free throws, I think Chicago would probably prefer that. Like, I know you always wanted a rim running center, someone who can get up and down the floor. I think we probably do need to, about time we get a little bit more of an agile big man. I can't even lie. It's getting kind of annoying seeing him unable to guard almost any center. Any
yeah,
center that seems like they got a real offensive game. It seems like he can't guard him, and he's not a good rim protector. So it's too many times he just get finished off.
yeah. What about this? How about you re-sign DeMar for the 40? You take Vooch contract. I know the Warriors is trying to dump Andrew Wiggins, right? How about you go move Vooch? My only thing is if I would take Wiggins, but I think to get off either Vooch or Zach LaVine, you're gonna have to add Alex Caruso and Io. I think both of them. Like you're gonna have to add both of them to get
Now,
off those two
now, I feel
contracts.
like in your trade scenario, we might not have to because these are both salary dumps. Like you can't convince me as a front office if I gave you Vooch and you gave me Wiggins, like, oh, I got to give up more. Like both of these guys are what they are. I think Vooch is a better center than Andrew Wiggins is a better small forward. So
I don't
we might.
know. I don't know because I mean Andrew Wiggins is 1 year removed from being an All Star. Vooch is 3 years removed from being an All Star, and
We
then
all know that's. We all know
the
he
age
was
as
not supposed
well
to make that
too.
All Star game.
He
We
was a
all know he.
starter. He
That's
was
what I'm
just like
saying. You get
no,
voted in. You get voted in as a starter. That's how. Nah,
but I mean he was playing lockdown defense.
bro. He had like 15 points per game that year.
I think with him and Patrick Williams, I think that'll be a nice 3-4 dynamic that's switchable. You know, a better defensive team. Right,
For
we end the
sure.
year 21st in defense. No, our defense always better than our offense. I could be wrong on this. We was either 21st in offense and 19th in defense, but at the end, that's a bottom third.
Bottom half, yeah.
Yeah, that's that's not even mid. That's not even average. So, I think you got to address both. And with Vucevic, I just he's a negative on the floor. He's slow. He not bad, but I just think this team, like kind of AK said, this team with Vuchona and other pieces, I just think it don't make sense. Like we need somebody who can be athletic. I wouldn't mind re-signing Drummond, taking that 11 pick, drafting the center, re-sign Drummond, have Drummond start, and then you go ahead and, like I said, possibly move Vooch for like an Andrew Wiggins, some type of wing defensive, 3-and-D
Well,
wing out
I
there.
wouldn't be against it, the Wiggins Caruso for Vooch Caruso for Wiggins and like maybe a
Moody,
young player,
Moody and a
maybe
pick.
like 2 second round picks or something. Yeah, like I guess I won't be too opposed to it. Or maybe if they gave us like Mooney or something, like depending on what the Bulls' plan is, I feel like would decide that trade. Like if they go in the draft the center route, then we probably just give us like Moody and Wiggins. Y'all get 2 starters, 2 people that complement Curry.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then and then y'all can still figure out y'all Chris Paul problem without us.
yeah. Because I mean, I don't know. It all, like you said, kind of depend on the direction that they want to go in.
But
But
I'm not opposed to it though. Like I'm team if we re-sign it a DeMar DeRozan, I want real wings, not guards that can play wing. I want
wait,
real wings. I don't want
no
no
fact.
flats. I want real wing. Like, I don't want none of that, bro. Like, if you're gonna draft a center, I want a real center. That's the only thing I'm asking for. Like, if you're gonna draft a big man, I want a real person that's 6'10", 11, 7 feet, that's 245, 250, 260. Like, I want a real big man. If you're gonna give me a wing, I want someone that's actually 6'7", not a guard that played, not someone who played guard in high school and college, and we want them to play wing now, but they're too small. Not someone who can't shoot, but I want a real wing, bro. Like if we want someone who gonna come in, play some defense, hit some shots.
Yeah, I think again, like you said, if we want to get those real players at those positions, first off, drafting, right? We got our pick. We can draft. We can either draft a wing or a center. That's what I'm looking at in this draft. We got a crowded backcourt. We don't need another point guard, a shooting guard. We don't need to get an actual 3-and-D small forward or power forward or get a center. Everybody that we looking at needs to be 6'8" and above. No, nothing lower than that, right?
He better be a cold 6'7".
Yeah,
Like a
yeah, yeah.
no question asked six. I need a no. The only problem with him is he's not 6'8". That what needs to be on his scouting report if we get someone shorter.
Exactly. I need a number one pick 6'7", right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
no,
No, we
no,
agree
no
on that one.
questions, right? So but even with the draft, I think that's where everything is gonna start. Of course, that's beginning to kind of like the off season, right? All the rumors
Yeah,
gonna be in there. Now with Zach and Vooch going back to they trades, right? There to me, there's no way you moving off either one of them. I I honestly think Io and Caruso might not be back, man. If we want real change, it's gonna take. We got to sacrifice some pawns, man. And I don't know how the fan base is gonna feel about that. Y'all let us know. Would y'all move on from Io and Caruso just to get
I
off
think
Vooch and Levine, or
I'm gonna speak for them, even though I don't speak for them.
go ahead?
I think they'll be sad to see Io go. they probably expected Caruso to be gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think everybody at this point like ain't that Caruso. People want Caruso to stay, but like you said, we just know like we know how he feels. And we just like I think we're more ready to see him go. I think people would rather Io stay just because he's from Chicago and we seeing him grow year after year. People want to see exactly what his potential to be. But I mean, if it's a can't turn down deal or if it's truly to make us better, you might have to go. Preferably, I think the crowd would prefer if Dalen Terry was gone.
Man, Dalen ain't got no value. I like what I seen. I like what I seen the last couple games out of Dalen though. I feel like he can have a place in the rotation again. 6'7". He just can't shoot, man. If he can get that jump shot down pack, we need him shooting thousands of jumpers every day. Like starting today, right? Like he
I'm
shouldn't even
personally,
have no off season break. Like he needs to go in and put up a bunch of shots, get that release down pack, work with Peter Patton, and come back a better shooter, man.
I personally feel like he needs to work on his dribbling a little bit more.
No, he's raw. He needs to work on everything. But I think what he's gonna mostly be doing is playing defense, and he has to knock down the open shots when he get them. Right?
Facts.
He passed up too many open threes. And when he do shoot them, I think he had like 20-some%, low 30s, like that. That ain't good
Yeah,
enough, man. That
no.
ain't good enough for a rotation player. A face that we did not get to discuss that they brought back this season, Javonte Green. Going into this off season, you trying to bring back Javonte maybe on like a veteran minimum or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially if we plan on getting rid of Caruso, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
we can
yeah.
come back. We can come back on vet. Um, Players that normally don't play that I would like to see back would be him. I want to see
Let's
Bidham
hold
come.
on,
I
hold
want to
on.
see Bidham come back.
Let's go down the roster real quick. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna give a yay and nay. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the whole Bulls team. Let's first deal with the starters. Kobe White. I'm going
Yeah,
yay.
he could. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah. Right. All right, so we agree on that. Starting at the two. Io.
I like for bro to come back.
Okay.
I mean,
Preferably
if
I
he get
like him to
traded,
come back.
I'm gonna say if he get traded, he get traded. But I would prefer if he come back.
The only thing is with Io though, or what for me, one of them gotta go. And I don't know who, but I don't think you could trail back both of them. But I would like to see Io back. At the three, DeMar DeRozan.
He just he can stay, but they that's a front office thing. If y'all gonna bring bro back, we said bring bro back, y'all better do it right. If not, blow the shit up.
Yeah. If so, okay, because I think DeMar DeRozan, we gotta touch on this. What will we do if we don't sign DeMar DeRozan?
That's the thing. You gotta blow it up. You got
But
everybody. It's like almost everybody who's under 25 gotta go if DeMar DeRozan doesn't come back. I mean, everybody who's over 25 gotta go if DeMar DeRozan comes back.
yeah, if Debo, so in any world, do you think it's possible? Because again, we got Lonzo coming back too, supposedly, right?
It's to the point. If I'm 8K, I shouldn't even care about that.
But I'm saying that's 21 million on your books, right? Like, it, we're okay. First, DeMar DeRozan, we don't bring him back. You say blow it up. Blowing it up, the only people that we can trade outside of that, like I said, is going to be Zach and Vooch. That's blowing it up.
And
Getting rid of the big three.
who we looking at trading anyway, if I'm not mistaken. Well, me and you, right?
Right. So, but again, like we said, if we go back to it, I think to get off Vooch or fucking Zach LaVine contract, you have to add Caruso and Io.
I mean,
So,
if that got to happen, fine. But
I
am
mean,
I out
because
here am I out here actively looking to trade Io? No.
no, but I mean, like, I think Io will be more for a Vooch deal because the contract is lesser, and I think that's good value if you able to kind of trade for Io. I think he only making like 6-7 million, and you add that onto Vooch contract. I think a good 27 million, right? Like I could think of a Heat trade, right? Say Io and Vooch for Tyler Hero, right? Now you got a backcourt of Kobe White, Tyler Hero. You got off Vooch. But at the same time, now you can probably re-sign Drummond, like I said, sign a big. That's just off the top of the head. I'm not saying that that's what's gonna happen. Don't
No one
take
knows what's
shots
gonna
at me.
happen,
But
guys.
yeah, but possibly that could happen. But then again, it's like what I don't know. I think you have to figure out Zach and Vooch before you address DeMar DeRozan. Yeah. Because if you don't,
Well,
what happened if DeMar don't even want to come back? Like,
well, yeah, yeah, yeah. They did ask, but they're gonna try to get him signed before the draft. AK basically said he will hope so.
but he
Um,
did. He said we gotta wait to see what we do in free agency. So
which is after the draft, right?
yeah, hell yeah. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. Changes got to be made though. That's one thing for sure. So if Debo don't come back, you say blow it up. Um,
I mean, we already 2/3 blowing it up, trading Zach LaVine, and
and Vooch.
we know, yeah, and we pretty sure Vooch might get moved because I don't think Vooch is happy. That
Hell
that man's
no.
that man's still an 8 and 9 seed.
Hell
You
no.
looking
I
at the
don't think
Magic
Vooch
be
been
fifth
happy since he
seeds.
got here. Oh
I
hell
think
no.
after he probably been mad since Lonzo got hurt.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Because everything came on him. I think him and Zach kind of in that same boat. Because DeMar getting all NBA's All-Star burst, right? And DeMar playing the most games, so it's kind of hard to shit on DeMar DeRozan. So you look at the other two players and Vooch play, but Vooch fucking stink, bro. So I
Yeah,
don't
bro,
know,
giving
man.
us just as many negatives as positive. This get kind of hard.
Exactly. And we're not trending upwards, man. Like 20, what are we shooting? 27% from three this
Yeah, he was awful from three this year, and he kept shooting. I don't blame him for keep shooting because he probably like it's gonna come back, but yeah.
year. Yeah. It's
No,
tough
he
right now,
bogus for that.
man.
He bogus. He kind of bogus for shooting that. I don't know.
It's tough
I
right
kind of and I don't think he get along with Billy Donovan either. That's the other thing.
now.
Like I said, it still seems like we sticking with Billy Donovan for the foreseeable future. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right. So we
we might
kind
be
of,
still having them 3 guard lineups.
I mean, shit. Yeah, depending on how they built this roster out. So we kind of discussed Vooch. We touched on Levine, Caruso. Now Caruso is extension eligible. Are you? Do you have any plans on re-signing Caruso, or
I
you
mean,
just think your asset?
at this stage, I'll probably trade him at this point. Try to get some draft picks back.
Okay, so you'll move on from him.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, it's about that time.
See, with me, I'm kind of in a conundrum, man, because I think if you bring DeMar back, you need a high level defender. Like you need
I mean, we
defense.
talked about that.
Yeah, you need defensive pieces around Kobe, DeMar. Them two in your backup, that's already negative. Like in your backcourt, they're not strong defenders. Kobe's average, a little below average, right? DeMar DeRozan is well below average to me defensively. So, um, and Vooch, right? Like you, you gonna need some defense on that squad for sure. And
I'm
some
tired.
offensive firepower. So
I ain't against Caruso, but I'm just like I'm at the point of start. I'm tired of starting him at the 4 or the 3.
mismanagement.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
going
so
to hurt.
like that's my thing. And then it's also like we already so guard heavy. We still got Io and we still got David and Terry. And I just feel like at this point, one of y'all have to pick up his production. Like, what do I got y'all for at this point? Like, I already plan on trading these other two, so I'm hoping to get that defender that I need. But why we got all these guards if none of them can even replace each other? It just like
I know they
I
all
feel
good at one thing. If we can morph them into one player, we'll have an all NBA guard. But
yeah. At this point, I'll be talking to Dalen Terry like, man, if you can't do what Caruso can do in year 3, we got a problem. Caruso was Caruso by year 3
yeah,
when he was with LeBron and the Lakers.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, at that point, I'm like, man, I need you to you're gonna have to guard some of these guys and learn how to get over these screens, learn how to pass these passing lanes. Like at this point,
So
I'll say this: when I was watching games on the end of the season, it was at moments I was like, just put the young guys in. Like if they can't do it, it's never gonna get done.
yeah. So DT, you bringing them back, or you testing the market on them?
I mean, we still got like 2 more years of him, so we might as well just keep him.
One more. This is fourth year. No,
This the 4th year?
this the third year, but I mean the season over, so we going into his fourth year. So this is his
I
contract.
thought this was only the second.
Mm-mm,
Let me see.
This DT third year. Remember we drafted him with Io.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so
No, we didn't.
no,
No.
year after Io.
Yeah, we drafted him after Io. I'm like, he was not on that squad when Lonzo first got there.
Yeah,
Io started for Lonzo.
yeah. So it was the year after Io.
Yeah, so I think he got 2 years left there.
No, hell no. No, he don't. Run his contract. I think this is contract year after this year.
Yeah, I think he's eligible for an extension. I don't
Yeah,
think he.
he extension eligible, but I don't think he got 2 more years. Hell no, Dalen Terry.
Yeah, because
Cause who we didn't draft last? Who did we draft last year? We didn't draft last. We draft
we
Julian
did.
Phillips.
Yeah. Then the year before that, I think we drafted Dalen Terry. He only 21.
No, the year before that, I think we didn't have a pick.
He was 2022 sophomore of the year. So,
Hold on.
what's this say?
Let's see what Dalen at.
Yeah, 2022 first round pick.
2022, 2023, 23, 24. Yeah, so okay, we got him for 2 more years. So Dalen coming back. I don't know why I feel like he been in the league about 3 years now.
You just
All
like,
right,
bro,
so
you should be
Dalen
better
coming
by
back.
now.
Yeah, Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig got a play option. You think he picking up that play option or he walking?
He probably out of here.
Out of here? Yeah, you could go sign a minimum anywhere. Andre Drummond. You re-sign the Drum?
I'll resign Drum if I go 40.
Yeah, I'll re-sign Drum if we move off Vooch.
I'll,
That's
I'll resign Drum damn near regardless. Well, again, unless we really plan on drafting the center. I'm planning on resigning Drum.
yeah, okay. Javon Carter. Yeah, nay.
He can go.
All right, so Patrick Williams, you resigning?
I'll resign him.
So what's the max you signing him at? What's your offer sheet?
Mid-level exception, damn near is the max, and I don't think he worth that.
You paying him
I
more
just
than
think he,
Kobe?
yeah, 'cause I feel like he might get more than Kobe on the market just because of his size.
So 15? Where you capping at?
15, 20 is like my cap, but like
You giving him the DeAndre Hunter contract? I do not want to sign Patrick for 20, bro.
I know, but it's just I feel like he might get that on the market, so I'm like we might gotta match it.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not matching 20 on Patrick. Shit, his ass gonna have to walk. He gonna have to.
I feel
All right.
that. I can't defend it.
Last person, Zach.
Yeah, he gone.
Gone. Yeah, we all on the same page. Well, all right, we're gonna wrap it up here, man. It's the Bully Sports Show, man. We ain't got nothing else. We just wanted to comment on Billy Donovan presser. I still think it's cap. It's all cap until I see it. But y'all go ahead, like, comment, subscribe.
What she want? Living life on the run from myself and where I'm from. Wish I could take